not running from the law.
I am running from the law.
Running from government, but not from the law.
Right. Running from the brigade. Who do you love? Who do you love? Get it? It's a hoodoo. Ancient swamp paleo soils overlain by runoff from the ancestral Rockies. That's my understanding. 55 million years old. At Paint Mines Park. Paint Mines Interpretive Park, is that it? And it is full of colors. The kind of colors that are best observed with Jimi Hendrix's guitar playing and a few party favors. There's a red one. There's a yellow one, an orange one, a white one. Really gorgeous place. And you're the one who told me about this place and offered to meet me. Your name's Melanie, right?
Yes, it is.
You're awesome.
Thank you.
Hopefully that wasn't too awkward for you. Super appreciate you meeting me here.
Follow me on Instagram.
Good morning.
What's your Instagram name?
Melanie_Boudreau. Boudreau.
Awesome. Highly worth the follow. Unlike me, my feed is boring. Nobody likes it. Every corner you turn down here is like, I want to set up and take pictures, but I don't want to take too much time. I'm on my way to Santa Fe again. But let's look at some cool features. So this block fell down from somewhere up high. Got much more coarse, much more well cemented texture on this guy. The white, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know what's causing it. The red and yellow are definitely iron oxides. And those are ancient swamp deposits, as I understand it. This is laid down right after the dinosaurs died. About 50 to 55 million years ago. So you had frontal, low-lying, low-elevation terrain that accumulated massive amounts of vegetation and water, periodically get buried by runoff from the mountains.
Yeah, it was a nice day.
And it is definitely solid gold as far as scenery goes. Took some still pictures and we'll see how that comes out. See if I find another place to shoot. It's time to get slotted out. See how far my fat ass can get through here. This This is narrow. But I've been doing sit-ups. Whoa. I'm stuck. I think this is as far as I get. Is it? Yeah. I'm gonna break my spine if I go any further. Once again, coarse grain, laminar, cross-bedded, rippled. See if I can dial that down. That's the shot right there. Oh, it's squeezing life out of me. Okay, backing out. Guess I need to do more sit-ups. So that is the shot right there. Yeah, I'm gonna grab my camera. Got a whole bunch of pictures, see how they turn out. There are definitely tourists here. Stay with me. You're not allowed to have fun. You're not allowed to be a kid. Stay with me. I hope she didn't hear that. I hope she did hear it. Take one more look at the cross-bedding here. That is very good cross-bedding. Very coarse grain stuff too. This would be a problem if I was drilling in an environmental project, but maybe not if I had good drillers. That's a gorgeous shot right there.
Hello. Like, did we just see him? Yep, we did a minute ago.
Even though I'm running out of time, it's one of those situations where I don't want to leave. I just want to stay and keep taking pictures. These contrasts between mudstone and sandstone are spectacular. It's like a miniature painted desert, but this is in Calhan, Colorado. So I'm going to bring you back over here. Stop the recording. You'll see how my pictures come out when I upload them in probably a few months. Once again, painted mine, which it really was mined for paint by the Native Americans as far back as 9,000 years ago. This is where they got their colors. So, painted mine, Interpretive Park, Calhan, Colorado. And I'm going to leave you with that scene right there. I'm going to say, check you later. Oh, shut up. So for context, everything you need to know about this site is all within the view right here. You have the Paint Mines Park. This is the area. This is the portion of the park where I did my little walk through. And you can see some of this is exposed throughout the area. Very narrow exposure, I guess, wherever these streams have cut through enough of the overburden to get to it. And this is just outside of Calhan, Colorado. Small little, quaint little town out there, but it's about 45 minutes from Colorado Springs. And interestingly, this site, where'd it go? Oh, here it is. This site is not showing up on a geologic map. You've got just this generic older gravel alluvium. You've got this White River formation. Maybe this is the formation, but I mean, obviously it's not that extensive. I'm gonna have to look into this a little more. We did see sandstone. We did see some of these descriptions there. But all of this, well, most of it, the white, the cap rocks that we saw on those hoodoos, those resistant sandstone blocks that exist throughout this area. You can see how it's overlaying this red. All of that came originally from this vicinity in the ancestral Rocky Mountains. So during the Laramide orogeny, or whatever portion of the Rockies this is, this unit, this 1 billion year old granite complex, this huge batholith, got pushed up and over surrounding rock formations. Everything on top of it got worn away, and what you see today is called the Pikes Peak granite. It's a 1 billion year old, making it Proterozoic batholith complex. And when these mountains were more incipient, towering, if you can imagine, much higher than they are today, all of this stuff sort of flowed, eroded away and flowed east and buried a bunch of older swamp deposits, which are the red. So those resistant white blocks belong to the detritus of the Pikes Peak granite. And this occurred around the turn of the Paleocene to the Eocene, somewhere between these two sub-ages here, the Apician, the Phoenician, if I'm saying that right. So somewhere around about 55.5 million years old, but you can imagine it was going on well throughout this age. So not long after the dinosaurs disappeared, remember that's right here, it started to decay and make way for a new regime of animals. So we're going to jump into the photos in just a second. And so, as you can see, I had a fair bit of fun shooting at these hoodoos, trying to get some decent panoramas. It's very phallic looking. I'm not sure how I feel about that. There's rock phalluses everywhere out here. It's very intimidating. So I think, I've been working through a bunch of these images. So I think I'm going to dive into doing a focus stack. And what that consists of is the following. You've got a series of images here. They're all taken at 5 round burst exposure brackets. So here's the lighter image, and in this one you can see great clarity in the background, very soft, out of focus in the foreground. And over here, this different image, we've got the clarity in the foreground. Although there is slightly some depth of field going on. We're going to see if we can merge these images into one seamless, completely focused image, so that the background is in focus, the foreground is in focus. And so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm not going to stack these together. I'm going to perform the operation at once. I'm going to merge all of these stacks into their own individual HDR images so that we can meld the lighter, more well-exposed images with the darker, faster shutter speed images. So let's just do that. Okay, so I'm back. And as you can see, these are a little lighter now. After you HDR these images, you get a more rational color range or brightness range to work with, but it also enables you to have more control over the lights and the darks. For instance, if I just pick one arbitrarily and turn up my shadows or turn down my shadows, you see there's more room to play with because that data is recorded in the image. So what I'm going to do, because to me these are still a little too dark, I'm going to up my exposure a little bit. Going to kick down highlights, whites, so that the bright parts aren't blown out. And that's all I'm going to do for now. That's it. And I'm going to synchronize that change across all these 7 images. So what that does is apply the change I made here all the way across to the last image. I feel good about this one. So to focus stack, you don't even do it in Lightroom. You've got to edit in and open as layers in Photoshop. And depending on how long this takes, I might pause and come back. Okay, so here they are. You can see that there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 layers for the 7 images. Each one of those images at their selective depth of fields are stored in a layer in Photoshop. So what I'm going to do is highlight all of them. I'm going to go to Edit, and I'm going to auto align these layers, because even though it was on a tripod and I had it locked down pretty good, there are always vibrations that change the image position ever so slightly from one frame to the next. Auto will be fine. All of that I don't care about, and I'm just going to hit OK. Okay, these are aligned now. You can see where it was nudged a little bit. I'm going to have to crop that little transparent seam out of there, but I'll do that later. Go back to Edit. I'm going to auto blend the layers now, and I'm going to select Stack, Seamless Tones and Colors, check. Content aware, whatever, that's fine with me. Hit OK. So here it is, the final focus stacked image, and as predicted, we've got this focus in the background, and we've got focus in the foreground. Now when you look around this image, you'll see that some parts of the process were omitted. Not a big deal when you look at the full size of the image. You could decide to crop that out or just ignore it. I don't think anybody really ever notices those things. That one I will probably crop though. But yeah, I'm enjoying this view. Everything is pretty much in focus. Now to get back to Lightroom with this, all we do is go up here and hit Save. Okay, so the image is now back in Lightroom. After you hit Save in Photoshop, it automatically brings it back. Does a fairly decent job of keeping the image in sequence. So I'm going to play around with this. I'm going to edit this a little more, and I'll show you what I come up with. Okay, so here are the basic edits that I made. There you go. Now I'm done. You could just look at this. Play with the highlights, shadows, whites, and blacks. I nudged texture. I like that really coarse look there. You got to remember that the focus stacking technique that uses Photoshop is cool, but it's entirely imperfect. So as you can see, it put this soft out of focus region right next to this super crisp portion. But when you zoom out, I mean, those things become kind of negligible. Got some great cross-bedding here. That Arcos sandstone derived from the Pikes Peak granite. Beautiful contacts there, beautiful cross-bedding. Got these swampy paleo soils. 55 something million years ago. Yeah, and I think I'm happy with this one. So, this and the others I've played with will be uploaded to my Instagram, the Rocktographer, and if you are so inclined, you can check those out. Just a few more you could peek at while you're here. Back to the stack. And my Instagram looks something like this. There are not a lot of us. There's a few of us on Instagram, a select handful of us geologists that get big. I don't know where this number puts me. I kind of like it. But I would say that not a lot of us get a whole lot of attention. And if you're so inclined, you should check us out on there. Give us some hearts. If you look at what is popular, what the heck is that? Look at the things that are popular on Instagram. It's just kind of information overload. What? Gosh. Information overload. Ridiculous politics. All manner of glamour scenes. Oh, what the heck? Oh my gosh. This looks like some conspiracy theory stuff. And oh, look, something actually interesting there. So there's a bunch of us on there. Not a lot of us get a whole lot of attention. Some of us do, and some of them are very snobby. So if you're not a snob, you feel like seeing some cool pictures, feel like learning some cool stuff about rocks, check us out on there. But till next time, thanks for tuning in, and check you later.